Okay, well, yesterday I was so excited about receiving my Rocky Mounts bicycle mounting system for my Honda Ridgeline. I've got the 2017, the second generation Ridgeline, and I went ahead and got so excited I went ahead and installed it. And like most men, I didn't read the directions. So although everything went in just well, fine and dandy, there were some things that had me a little concerned, and so I'm going to show you what it is. But anyway, I'll go around here to the other side of the vehicle, and you'll notice that my handle where the key is for the key lock sits down a little bit, and today at lunchtime I was thinking, golly, that key is kind of down there. It's a little awkward for me to get my key down there. And when I went back and looked at the directions, I realized I put the brackets in upside down. So if you look right here, you can see that my mounting bar sits down below. And I started thinking, well, if I flip that over, that's going to put that lock a little bit above the edge, which will make it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and redo this. But while I'm here, I'm going to show you something. This is just a traditional fork mounting system that you can buy at your local bike store. This is a Saris. And when you get this rack system, you're going to get two sets of back plates. And apparently they'll work generically with anything that you get. It's just that because I'm going to take my bike to areas where I don't want them to get stolen, I decided to purchase one of the locking fork mounts from Rocky Mounts, and I was able to take the other one that I already had and mount it into the track system. So we'll go ahead and do this over again. And this is after I've read my directions, and I'm going to do something real quick like here. I'm going to show you. I'm about right at about 3 inches below the rail of my truck. If you look at the tape measure right there, about 3 inches, maybe just a smidgen shy, so 2 15/16 or something like that. But I would imagine once I flip these over, I'm going to be on the other side of this, which will raise this bar up so that instead of being dipped down below, it should be a little bit closer to the other rail. But more importantly, will allow that lock to be accessed a little easier. So I'm going to try to put this right here. We'll redo this system. Now keep in mind, Rocky Mount sends you some Torx style wrenches already with the system. I didn't know that they sent that, so I had a ratchet already from taking out the brackets. Because what happens is this system right here, you see this tie down catch right here with those Torx screws in them. There traditionally are some right here that I've already removed because I had a tonneau cover on it. So anyway, I'm going to set this back here. We'll rework this. Of course, when I flip these brackets over, I got to take the bar out. And even though it's a 60-inch bar, you can see that it's a nice snug fit, and it fits well, and it looked like that's the way it would have gone. But in all reality, I needed to flip this over, so take the bar out. I'll set it down for a second, and then we'll go ahead and redo these brackets right here. Now what'll happen is I'll put this bracket on the other side because I want the D-ring to be facing out. In essence, what this bracket does, gives you a little ring right here so you have another tie down catch instead of tying down to your bar. That's what they want you to tie down to, which is pretty ingenious. So because I'm going to flip this over, I'm going to have to get the bracket from the other side. So stand by a second. So while I was over there, when I took that one off, I just reinstalled the other bracket. So anyway, you can see that this bracket right here will go this direction. So now that I have this turned over the correct way, you can see I'm a little higher up. The D-ring is out right here, and the other bar will rest right here. So let me tighten this up. So because I've taken this off, you know, I've got to get this washer and everything out. I may have to take this end cap off, or at least get this retrieved. So it's probably the easiest way to do this is just take the end cap off. See if I can get my camera here situated a little bit better. Okay, so well, I lost the washer, so anyway, let's go ahead and pull this off. Slides out. Because I have fat fingers, I have to pull that out. So I could probably, I'm going to go ahead and just do it from the other side, turn it around, but then push the cap back. These are the two screws that I'm going to be using to bolt this back into the bracket. Okay, so now we're ready to install these back in. Now you'll notice that they gave you 3 torque wrenches. This one's too small right here because this one goes to anchor the fork units down. So now when I set the bar down, you'll see I'm a little higher up now. I'm not underneath the rail, so we'll measure it here in a second. But we get that started. I'll get the other side started. Get this tightened down now. Okay, as you can tell, real secure. Let's go ahead and take a measurement. Since we did it on this side, remember we had almost 3 inches. Let's see where we're at now. Yeah, see, we're about an inch and 5/8. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it's about an inch and 5/8, from 3 inches to inch and 5/8. So almost picked up an inch and 3/8 on my setup. So I'm going to set this right here. We'll go ahead and put the bike in and see where the lock is, because now let's show you this right here. See, it's much easier to get this key to this lock right here now versus when it was down in the hole. So I can go ahead and pull that off, and I know that I'm going to have to unwind this a little bit in order to get it wide enough in order to get my forks in there. So just going to make it a little wide. Okay. And I'm going to move this camera over to the other side so you can see how the bike mounts into the rack. So I'll set it right here. So I want to show you how this locks in right here and how it snaps. So you saw I had to I have this right here, and I guess this is like a little security tab right here to keep keep it from flying up. But you have to unloosen this, and what you want to do is get it to the point where it snaps in. And now you can tell, I'm rocking on that pretty good. I could probably have it a little bit tighter if I wanted to. And that looks like that's pretty good. And as a result, the bike is not rocking at all. Okay. Now, something with the Honda Ridgeline that I was concerned about is, let me get my tools out. I have a set these off to the side right here. In this particular vehicle, you can see the way the bed opens up either way. There's a locking trunk in this thing, and I wanted to see if indeed I could get to my material inside the bed of this trunk. So I wanted to see, and I'll see if we can't open this up, but I can lift this up if I need to, okay, to get to the material in my trunk, which is very easy to do. And then I can go ahead and shut it, and of course the vehicle sits, the bike sits back down. And I like the fact that it goes in between these grooves, so it's not going to do a whole lot of sliding around. You can see that is pretty secure, and I'm pretty happy with that. So the other part of this is, once you take your wheel off, I know that I have my bike secured because it's locked. Okay, I can go ahead and lock it. And I had thought about putting the wheel strapped to that bar, but in retrospect, I'm going to go ahead and put it inside the bed or inside the back door, because a bicycle without a front wheel is no good. So I'm just going to set that right there. I know that can be locked. And then I can take this section right here, get my key here, okay, now that's locked. That's not going to open up. Okay, and the nice thing about what Rocky Mounts has done, I don't know if you can see it or not, but they etch a number into your key, and they take that same number and they etch it into the face of the lock, so that if in the future you want to buy a second lockable Rocky Mounts lockable fork mount, you can have them keyed alike, which is a pretty smart thing. So this bike is ready to roll. I'm going to go riding a little later on today after I finish work. You got about another 15 minutes left on lunch, so I'll finish up work. Then afterwards, I'll take my bike out for a ride. So that's the way it looks right there from the outside. As you can tell, the tailgate can fully close. I can either have it down like this, or I can open it like this, but I do know this bike is not going anywhere. And you can tell from the track system right here, I clearly have enough room for 2 bikes, even possibly 3,